It's the Morning Pittsburgh Sports Report with Guy Junker. I'm Ken Laird. Guy, if the Steelers wanted a few tweaks, they got them. They maybe got more than they bargained for. Keith Butler on his way to at least interview for the defensive coordinator spot with the Indianapolis Colts. Bruce Arians, per reports, set to sign on the dotted line to be their offensive coordinator, so news of his retirement was quite overrated. What do you make of the latest developments over the weekend for the Steelers, Guy? Is it huge news if they lose Keith Butler? And is this more than they bargained for in terms of perception? Do they come off looking dysfunctional here, that some of these things are happening?
Well, I think the Arians thing, we talked about this last week, still looks strange that they insisted on announcing it as a retirement. If they knew that he was going to go look for another job, whether it's right now or if it's August or if it's a year from now, there's still going to be question. I mean, just say you don't want him anymore. You're not going to renew the contract. You're not happy with the direction the offense has gone the last couple of years. In terms of Butler, I think about this defense, despite all the injuries up front early in the year, which I think put a lot more pressure on their linebackers, and then injuries at their linebackers, and the guys that replaced them did a pretty good job for them still to rank where they did, across the board. I think it is a big loss. I think he's the guy that was in waiting to take Dick LeBeau's job over. I think he did a very good job there if he does go. And he has said that it's not a done deal. He's going to listen to what they have to say. Maybe maybe the Steelers don't counter with the defensive coordinator's job now, but what if we tell you right now you're our defensive coordinator in 2 years or something like that? Maybe that would be enough to keep him somewhere where he's happy and there's some continuity. But he turned down an offer with the Dolphins once before. Someone else asked to talk to him, and the Steelers didn't give him the permission. I can't remember which team that was.
For like a lateral move for that case.
Yeah. So I think he's getting a little bit antsy. I mean, God love Dick LeBeau. He's in good health and he still does a great job. And if I'm the Steelers, as long as he wants to keep doing that job, I'm going to let him do it. But Keith's 55 now, so he might be thinking he's got to take an opportunity if he gets a chance. And it makes sense. Keith, Arians, Chuck Pagano, they all work together with the Cleveland Browns on Butch Davis's staff. They know each other, so I think it makes a lot of sense.
Well, I can remember talking to Bruce Arians or to Keith Butler after he turned down the Miami job, and he brought up a lot of those things that he felt he had a good situation here in Pittsburgh, and even though it was South Beach, his wife wasn't so enamored with going down there. They preferred the consistency and the continuity, and they liked it here. So I do think it's a possibility Butler comes back to Pittsburgh, but if he does take the job, it raises to me some questions of whether he thinks the defense really is getting old, and whether in a couple of years if this will be a lot of the same guys that he's built some good relationships with. Because let's face it, Hampton with the ACL surgery, Foot or Ferrier, one of those two guys could be gone for sure here in short order. So this is a much different team than he's had the last couple of years.
So you think that if he leaves, it's also casting a shadow on what's left here player-wise?
I think so. I think it's a little bit of a reflection of him knowing that it's not quite the same anymore.
I'm not quite ready to go. I wouldn't say that's a reach, but I get what you're saying, but I think that's really, I think you're going to make the decision based more on what's personally good for you. And, I think if you are comfortable in a situation, you look at the Steelers, as long as you do your job and do it well, you can work there forever. Okay. Maybe
just like Bruce Arians.
Maybe you become the defensive coordinator. I should do the job well. I mean, that's the debatable part. I'm not saying he didn't, but obviously 2 or 3 years in a row when the focus of what the owner has to say in the State of the Steelers address is kind of about your play calling or what you're doing, you either make the changes or you can expect to go, I guess. But I think, there's something to be said for that stability. Okay, you go and become the defensive coordinator of the Colts. Maybe you get a lot more money, and maybe in 2 years you're looking for another job where you could work here the rest of your life, not sell your house, and eventually get that coordinator's job anyway.
So we'll keep track of it. Another Pittsburgh outpost possibly. A lot of guys have gone to Arizona, and could be some more exodus here to Indianapolis. And who knows? Maybe you'd see Hampton and Foot and Ferrier and some others heading out to Indy before all was said.
As long as we're keeping track of something besides Pro Bowl touchdowns or NHL All-Star Game goals.
Boy, Ben looked good last night. With Guy Junker, I'm Ken Laird. Join us every morning for the Morning Pittsburgh Sports Report on Trib Live Radio.